Piece of Riot song.
Check it out, 1, 2. Yeah, look, I'm a revolutionary.
Man, I chased music for a while for this show. Hit copyright infringements and learned about sharing. But a guy I followed for a long time, just through doing comedy and stuff like that in social media, I had found him and watched his music over the years, and I hit him up out of nowhere and asked him to do a song for us. And he fucking, I would say he came through pretty nicely there. So I've been chasing him down, and hopefully I get him on here right now for an interview. Iammoneymic. I'll make sure I link everything. You can go to peaceandriot.com, and everything will be there also. I know he has a link tree that is Iammoneymic. I'll have all that down in the description too. His info, good stuff too, funny stuff on there also. I mean, that's why I kind of followed him, was the similarities in what I was going after, and wanting something for the show. It had to fit perfectly, so I'm super impressed with what he did. I think he's going to call here shortly too, and at least I can steal a few minutes of his time. But I've been whoring that song out a little bit, making all these little videos and cuts. I'm still trying to learn YouTube and putting the intro up, but it's got good hook parts. The lyrics are great. It's on point. Beat and everything is fantastic. It's just a really entertaining song, and I'm real happy with how it came out. And I'm trying to bother him in the middle because, people have real lives too, and parenting and jobs, and I don't want to fanboy him too much or, make his day fucking too full with me sitting over here. But, oh, shit, here we go. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, great. Trying to fuck around and get this all going for this phone. I had to do a couple sound checks. I'm like an old man on this sometimes.
No, you're all good, man.
No, the song's fantastic. I don't want to over fanboy it, but yeah, I chased music for about 2 years for the show, and I was following you just in little shit. You start doing comedy and stuff like that, and you follow other people that are doing it, and I'm glad I hit you up. I'm super impressed with it. It's really fucking way more than I ever expected. Same with Beard, and he's not a music guy. Yeah, if you want to plug or anything, I'll have all your links, and I already explained to everybody who you are and that the links are below, but I want to also give you a chance to plug before I ask you a bunch of questions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could do it after. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, either way. How long have you been chasing this?
Shit, man. It's like, I don't want to be, I don't want it to have, an X-Men origin story or something like that, though. It's kind of it's kind of been forever type of deal.
I mean, you can. I don't mind content, so.
I don't mind. I'll talk until I feel I have nothing to say.
It's the first anything I've attached to the show, so there's definitely curiosity. I've tried to have people do the logo and stuff, and then I send it out to them, and they don't take it seriously. There's a million podcasts or whatever in the world. So when I was with you, I was like, oh, fuck, this is music. But I just was wondering where you get the influence at for some of your beats and stuff, because you got a touch of everything in there, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah, so as far as the beats and stuff like that, I kind of just I just have a good ear. I just scour the internet pretty much for beats every day. That's just kind of what I do. And then I also just got into producing. So now I've gotten to producing tracks and helping other people compose tracks and stuff like that. But I just listen to music every day and all day. So I just have developed what sounds good and what community with what type of people, and I just really I don't know, it's more psychological to me. I look at it it's a deep dive. It's almost I don't know.
I can tell in the artwork too, because I mean, you hit our song great. I couldn't have asked for more. It's fucking great. I'm like, god damn. How long have you been because I didn't go back. I mean, I've checked out your Spotify. I think I've listened to everything you have up. When did you start, posting your music content and actually deciding, I'm going to put this shit out here and see what people have to think about it?
Yeah, so I started like really posting it in. So I really started like in 2010, right? 2009 when my daughter was born. I just kind of like I always had done. My dad came to this country to like do music. He came from Africa, and he came to this country to do music. And you know, it was one of those things that he didn't get a chance to pursue it. He had kids, et cetera, et cetera. So I had, you know, a very big. I just felt like it just felt like the bigger thing than just like going to the studio making some cool songs type of thing, you know. So, but I didn't really take it that seriously until about 2009 when my daughter was born. You know, I kind of figured out like, what am I going to do with my life? Where do I want to go from here?
You put some time on it then.
Yeah, it's been about a solid decade of me like working on the craft, but it was 2015 when I officially like branded myself. So I'll say from like 2009 to about 2015, I was just recording songs and putting up like mixtapes. I put out like 7 projects.
You made the life choice at 2015, where you were like,
yeah,
this is what I'm
like
doing.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like,
that's about what I did about
anymore.
3 years ago. Yeah, about 3. I fucked around, you know, and thought I was funny like everyone does, and, you know, open mics and things like that, and then decided 3 years ago, no, like take classes, learn, figure out what you have to do, and go from there.
It's a different thing when you actually like have to live it, because then you have a different appreciation for people that do it on that level. You see it differently. So like when you're just looking back as a fan and you're consuming this stuff, you don't really, you know, you could talk shit about whoever you want to. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Say, man, I don't give a shit about Joe Rogan, or I don't.
You can judge from the chair real easy.
Really easy, right? But when you're doing it, you look and you're like, man, how does this guy do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sit back, you see it from a different view, because you're like, man, this shit is it's not easy, and it's very easy to it's very easy to quit.
Is this your sole income and career?
This isn't my sole income and career, but this is my sole income and career at the same time. So, you know, I do
I understand completely. Yep, I get that. Yep. So, this is what pays my bills, but life is life. Sometimes you got to make things happen, and I mean,
yeah, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm not on everybody's, you know, TV screen, on everybody's playlist right now at the moment. So at the moment, you know, I just kind of have to make sure that I live life and I do what I got to do. But you know, this is the only thing that I do, though. This is the thing that occupies all my time. Besides,
could you ever go back to doing like a 9 to 5?
I can't go back to it. Actually, like, breaking news, I'm doing one. I am actually working one right now, but I'm more than likely gonna. It's happened. It's gotten to that you know.
The misery stage where you're.
Yeah, you know, the crazy thing is, because the people that I work with are great. It's fantastic. So it's like the first, like, so all my 20s, like, all I did was just treat jobs as dating, right? I would never work a job for more than like 8 months, 6 months. So I would just like constantly leave jobs.
I sold cars for 15 years.
Oh shit.
Well, not just that. Actually, I was worse. The last like 5 or 6, I actually was a manager, and like, yeah, man, I walked away. I had a nervous breakdown and walked away from that. It was a good career, it paid well, but 3 years ago, just fucking walked away from it. And I have 2 kids too. They're with me all the time, teens. It's tough. I mean, this is the hardest part about this, and I don't know what keeps you like motivated daily. That's the next question. But self-motivation inside of this is probably one of the toughest things. Like you said, it's real easy some days just to be like, fuck this. Wake up a little bit and just be done with everything that's going on. What do you do like to keep yourself motivated, or what motivates you on the regular?
Man, I tap into like it's family. I don't want to sound too Tony Robbins and shit, but it's like the universe. It's you know, it's really all these things. It's like just being alive and realizing that like it's crazy that I'm alive. It's like wanting to prove people wrong. Sometimes I make shit up. You know, I just try and find anything that, you know, sometimes somebody will say something and I would just like, you know, they might not mean it in some type of way, but I would just take it to just give myself an extra kick in the ass to be like, you know what, they don't care. Throw
that chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, because I just always have had it, and I have it, you know, like I'm at a point right now where I wouldn't say that I don't think you ever reach mastery, but I feel like I've reached a point as far as me writing music where I can write songs with the best of the best, and that's just me putting in that much time and knowing that I can. Like, if I would put in the room, I wouldn't say it and then, you know, feel like if I'm in a room with XYZ and I just shut down, I'm not shutting down, because I know that I've put the time and I've studied them and I know what they've done and I know that I'm doing that, so I feel as confident in
I
my
would
ability.
say you would have it down because as someone that's done business with you, like in an actual true business state, and I've done it 3 times with someone with the logo and someone else with for some content on the show where they just didn't take it serious, you know, and then you get into that weird spot of like, oh, you got to pay me for my services, and I'm like, I'm not paying you for. I mean, you know, it's like, what the fuck's going
Yeah.
on? You know, they take you as not serious as everyone assumes. You know, you hear new song, new music, new podcast, comedian. You know, the quick judgment is whatever. You know, what are you really
Yeah,
doing with your life? Or, you know,
yeah, the market's oversaturated,
oh,
and
it's crazy.
it seems as if you're just trying to, you know, and that's the thing, because everybody does it. But like in the pandemic, though, the pandemic really showed me, at least in from what I see, my timeline, my feed, the people that I know, a lot of people that were supposedly quote unquote doing it in the scenes and the communities that I know, they kind of shut down. And I know
Yes.
everybody's going through different things and this and that, but the cold reality and the cold hard facts are this world is cold as shit, and it doesn't matter if it's a pandemic, it doesn't matter if it's the plague, it doesn't matter if fucking dinosaurs come back and eat us all and shit.
You ever
It
tried to
doesn't fucking
promote on
actually
Reddit?
matter.
You want to talk about cold? Man,
Yeah.
holy shit. We had to stop because, one, you know how it is. Like, if someone puts a negative comment, like, I don't care. That's their opinion. But I want to, like, go at them. And when our YouTube's, like, 2 months old, we're growing it. You know, this is a new thing. I can't blast people in the comments. And you'll get people, man, I'm 40 years old. I'm learning all this audio, video stuff. I have great equipment now, but I'm still learning it. And they'll put comments like, you need a audio limiter because you have distortion. I'm like, bro, fuck, what the fuck you want? That's your comment? Like,
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't read that shit. If
And
you
I'm-
read the shit, it could drive you crazy.
and you know where I'm at, you know, our quality here, video, I mean, we need a little better computer, but you know, we're like a C minus C level. Like, I'm happy with it. It can be better, but
Hey,
I don't
you know. I'll say this, not to cut you off, but I'll say this, that the fact that I think I heard that you guys said that you were on your 100th episode, if I wasn't mistaken, or something of that nature, maybe more right now.
I think we're
So that.
yeah, 130 total or something like that.
So the fact that you're at 130 episodes of any, people can't do 100 times of anything.
Yeah, that's
Somebody to do 100 of anything. I don't care what the quality is. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how it sounds. You can improve all those things. It's like kind of like having like a hot girl that's just dumb as shit, right? You can have all the great shit and all the thing, but if she's dumb as shit after a while, this shit is useless. It just looks good.
we started in a garage with one mic, and I was just fucking around because COVID made stand-up go away. So I was sitting in my garage, and I brought him over. He's just my buddy, man. I just tricked him and told him I needed sound checks and stuff. And it turned into like 50 audio-only episodes. And it wasn't until I bought new equipment and had the guy that I bought the new equipment from watch one of our episodes for him to tell me that we were speaking into the wrong part of the microphone the entire time.
That's great.
So I always saw stand-ups and everything. You talking to the top of the mic. Well, these were like nicer studio mics that just have you talking to one of the sides, and that's a lot. So then we switched that up, and it's just been a learning thing. I don't do this though for like. I mean, of course I do it for money and all that, but no, this is just something I actually wanted to chase, and that's what it kind of feels like when I watch all your stuff. And you do other things too, like. I saw that you had some like old school like jazzy. I didn't watch the whole video, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he has that. And then I saw you were doing. I just recently, which is crazy because I followed your profiles for a while, that you were doing open mic stand up stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like to call myself like music is my main like source of output as far as, because you know I've done it the longest and it's
Yeah.
just such a fabric of my DNA. But like I'm more so, I consider myself. I heard this word, and it's one of these books that I really want to listen to. I forgot it's called. The title, they said, an Imagineer.
I like that actually.
So
I've been
So
trying
it's
to
like,
figure out what to put down because stand up or comedian, like, I don't know. That's not what I
So
don't know.
I was
Entertainer
listening.
sounds like a stripper.
Yeah, yeah, entertainment. Yeah, it has the same connotation as saying comedian. It's just like, oh, you're just a multifaceted whore.
Yeah, it's like you're an artist enough to be an artist, but you're not an artist enough to come up with an original name for your artistry. That's what those feel like. Like it's like you can't you can't figure that out. It's like, oh man. Yeah, no.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
The comedy thing is great though. The open mics, we'll have to figure something out when all this lifts, when studios, mobile, and everything get something together and do some music and comedy at some event or something.
That'd be dope, man.
That'd be great. I mean, I've gotten offers recently, finally again, to host like some small parties and stuff, and these are the first ones in a long time. But now it's at the point where I'm like, do I really want to even do that? I'm like, were those paying off any better than? Because from what I've learned on this online thing, it's a pretty good spot to just get everything out there.
Yeah, it definitely is. Having the physical is definitely always going to be a necessity, but it just depends on how you want to spin it. So I don't think doing the physical for other people is the move, unless you're going to fucking drop the money that's going to be enough for you to walk out the house.
Well, you know what sucks about open mics most of the time? Well, at least here in Phoenix. It's you doing it to 20 other bitter fucking comics and 5 people that are eating at a restaurant that don't know you're there doing comedy.
Well, I think that's everywhere, because that's kind of how that's the scene out here as well. It's kind of the same kind of thing. So after the pandemic hit, I did like one open mic, I think right after, or like in the when it was still kind of like up in the air type of deal.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel it.
No.
And I was just like, you know what? There's a better way. I was like, there's a better way for me to get this comedy out. And I had a buddy of mine. We started working on. We wrote like almost like 60 hours of like comedy material, and we're just like sitting on that, like just waiting for the right moment on how to get it out. Because for stand up, you do need people.
Yes.
But it's like, I think that open mic setting with 20 comedians and all that. I just think that's such a. I think there's other ways to get out there should be other ways to have to get out your jokes. Yeah. I feel like if you're gonna go open mics all that time, you might as well have a podcast.
Well, the open mic thing is this unwritten rite of passage, and it's kind of like antiquated.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm like, what if my dream isn't that? Yeah, I don't want to jump through that hoop. Here's the thing: I don't mind open mics. I don't mind stand-up sets. It's just the weakest point of what I want to do. Like writing contrived sets and keeping them each time sounding fresh is fucking tough to me. I'd rather just get up there and whatever comes to my mind rant. But you turn the red light on, sometimes I don't get off stage, and I mean.
Yeah, that's why I think having control of the setting. So that's, for me, it's like that's why I wanted to start writing my own show, because I was like, I need to have control of the setting, and it made it for a more freer experience where I could just go up there and say what I want.
Exactly.
Tonight I want to host. Today I want to do 20 minutes.
And that's what we want to do. Get it to the point of there are shows and I'm doing what I want, and then other people can come in and do their art as well. Because I also do promotion on the side, and it's all part of it, LLC attached to this. So I take it seriously as a business. I always have. There's always the dream and the fun part, and you have to enjoy some of the novelty. But it's funny because you tell people, and they don't understand how much work. I mean, I probably work 50 to 60 hours a week on monotonous editing, and I mean, you understand, like, making the song for the show, the minute and a half, I mean, that wasn't just like an hour.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. It's making sure, it's a lot. It's studying. For me, like, to do the song and all that stuff like that, the process for me is not hard. It's the knowing where to pick the information from, and kind of having a good idea and a good basis, and knowing what sound goes with that. So it's more the thought process that goes into it. And that's what, like, that's what I tell anybody when they're out giving out their services, or you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what the, like, fuck if somebody says that's too high of a price, or this or that or this or that. It's about what you have to do to get ready, and what you've done on it, what you've been doing for years. All those years backdated your old back pay. Dude, what do you think lawyers do? Lawyers charge $300, $400 an hour from back pay.
For an email.
Back pay.
Now you got it. Now you get $250 an email. Or even if their like legal secretary does it, that's 150. Like, oh yeah, they're mopping it.
But you know why though? You know why? The reason why is because they had to go to school for freaking 8-12 years to fucking be able to get into that position and then kiss ass under somebody's wing and grind and grind and grind and grind just to be able to get that office in that position. So you're paying for all the struggle I went through.
Man, I'm so glad I'm not in that environment anymore. Oh yeah. Shit!
But that financial idea applies to even the creative side of the business, right? Like as far as like with creation, like you know, if you're telling somebody that like advertisers, let's say advertisers are reaching out to you, I mean, there's gonna be certain people you'd be like, we're not gonna take your shit unless you pay a certain premium and you give me the XYZ because we don't need you.
What the funny thing is when people start offering. With a show like this or with the mobile trailer, they'll buy a piece of advertisement, but they always got to throw a little extra thing they want, They always want, like, to be a part, and I'm like, I'm not selling anything except for a little square on my banner. That's it. Like, it could be fucking Oreos, Nike, tampons. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's the whole point of this for me. The money comes from sponsors. Not interested in, like, whoring myself or trying to get money out of fans or shit like that. They'd like to buy merch when I get it, things like that I get, but I think there's avenues you can go where fans don't have to get as pillaged in pricing. But man, they want to put their picture on fucking everything. They put it on your hat. No, bitch, you can do it on my banner and that's it.
Yeah, I mean it's digital real estate.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the ever famous question, and you don't even have to do like. Just hip hop or that, but top 5 artists.
Top 5 artists. Okay, so all music. So let's say, my favorite artist of all time is Bob Marley.
That's a good one.
And then after Bob is Michael Jackson. After Michael Jackson is Kanye West. After Kanye is after Kanye is fuck. I gotta go with Jay-Z and then Lil Wayne.
Ooh, throw a Lil Wayne in there too.
Yeah, that's a little curveball.
I mean, Marley, come on. You watch a little bit of the shows and that stuff. We're all about medical marijuana, the legalization of it. Marley is top 5 for me too. I don't think he gets enough credit. He's like Mount Rushmore of music type.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the way. So for me, the reason he's number 1 for me is because at the end of the day, I think the true purpose of music, what it's supposed to serve beyond the business and everything like that, is I see it in 2 parts. I see it as how bankable of an artist were you, and then how much did you care about the actual craftsman and the craftsmanship of music, right? So I care about both things equally. So as a musician, like he's phenomenal. I mean, like the way he merge a message with a groovy beat at the same time is something that is just not.
He's got easy. That make your nipple hard music still. You can still listen to it and you get the chills and you're like, God damn, still. Like, and I've played it. Yeah. I mean, I've played him. He's all over my playlist. Every time you're like, damn, that's good. MJ, yeah. I mean, I won't go too much into MJ. Everyone's got their opinion. He's one of my favorites too. Like, fucking, are you kidding me? Like, he developed the entire pop genre to what it is.
Pretty much, and that's why I have him there, because like he is essentially the fabric and DNA of like almost. It's hard. I would to lowball it 75% of musicians that are out there.
I say if you like Eminem, you have to like MJ. I mean, really, isn't he the evolution of MJ? Technically, I mean, he's mainstream pop, and he's just a genius in the way of knowing what to put out to be at the top. You know,
I'll say that's more Drake.
I agree too. You know, he made it from Degrassi to the fucking top, so. That's crazy. I can't believe that. I actually did watch that as a kid too. Kanye, man, the guy's a genius, and I suffer from the same. I have mental illness that he does. I suffer from mania, where I get the shit that comes out of his mouth sometimes. He just doesn't have a filter. I don't have that platform, or I also say that too. But you know, you can't argue that the guy is just freakishly talented.
Yeah, I think his ability to communicate with as much as people think he's not a great communicator, I think he's absolutely a phenomenal communicator when it comes to his art and communicating with people's soul through his art.
Yes.
The words he says, he might not be able to get it out, but when he puts that product into the world, everybody feels it. Whether it's a $600 shoe or a $12 CD, like, you love it.
Those Yeezys,
and now he's gonna.
Everyone thought that shit was gonna be a joke. Holy shit.
No, I mean, it's arguably up there with as far as relevancy, there with like Jordans and shit. Like, that's probably like Jordans, and then he's like right under him.
Well, absolutely. Jay-Z. Yep, I'm top 5 for me too. That guy is.
For me, it's the lyrical ability, and then the ability to make, what is it, $1 billion now?
Yeah.
And still be able to not compromise your artistic integrity, and that's a big thing for me. There's a lot of, and I love 50 Cent. I think 50 Cent's phenomenal. Get Rich or Die Trying is like one of my favorite. I think it's one of the most perfect albums ever constructed. But like, his artistic integrity wasn't as at least musically, because he's done phenomenal things with like the shows and stuff. But I think musically, his albums didn't hit as hard because
it just doesn't have the depth. There's just not the depth to them.
Yeah, exactly. It was the same. It didn't go any. He didn't take a deeper dive.
He can make club bangers, and that's about it.
Yes, and they're great. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not here to, you know, I'm happy for everybody who makes it and does something. You know, as long as you're not doing anything to me, I'm happy for you. As long as you're doing something great.
You caught me off guard with the Lil Wayne though.
So for Lil Wayne,
now he's super talented. I don't take that away. Like, I put him up there in like Biggie level of just genius inside of. And that's why I would have put Biggie, but just Biggie didn't have. I would have put, so I have Biggie, Pac, all these guys after that. The only reason I have Lil Wayne there is because the longevity. Yep.
The lyrical ability is like damn near. It's like him, Eminem. This is probably like them two.
And you got two different. You know, Eminem's notorious at the guy who's written every word. Like, there's not someone that can rhyme better than Eminem. Just because he's put the time, he still writes and reads the dictionary. Like, that's just what his brain does. There's better music than his, but if you just want to sit and verbally try and spar with him, good luck. Like, good luck.
Yeah. He has his arsenals. He's like composed he has every single gun in the world.
But now Wayne is like Biggie, right? They don't write. It's off the top of the head.
It's the wittiness.
That's crazy,
the wittiness. It's the wittiness for me and Wayne, and just like the cultural relevance and like the ability that he had to like influence. So like, it might not have been for the best as far as like him influencing all these like up and coming rappers, but damn it, he did it. You know,
what he's good at is the same thing Eminem is too. Whenever they collab with someone, they steal the song.
Yeah, it's like that's the kind of that's really what it is.
You're like, well, it's not your song, but yeah. Well, all right, I want to wrap this up, but I do want to also give you a chance to plug all your stuff. I'm gonna have I have your Linktree link below all the videos. As soon as I figure out how to actually insert the intro correctly on all the videos, it'll play. But at least for right now, I'm still gonna put all the links and everything below because I'm gonna go back and make sure it's on it all.
Oh man, that's great.
But plug everything, plug it away. I'll shut my mouth for a second.
No, you're good, man. So I can be found on social media at Iammoneymic. That's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google, Spotify, Amazon, the stuff that's not even been created yet. You can find me there at IAMMONEYMIC. That's Iammoneymic. You can find me there. And shout out to Peace and Riot, man. Make sure you check out the new song, Peace and Riot, that I just did for them. Thing is amazing.
Fucking it is, man. It really is, dude.
And yeah, man, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for giving me some time to pick your brain. As a true fanboy, like, watched your stuff now for about 2 years, and you know, you see a lot of the people online, you kind of check their stuff out a little, but most people don't take it serious. Then I listened to a couple of freestyles and it was like, oh, okay. And then we got to this point of wanting to make the music, and I made the call, and Beard was like, it's your call on the music. I appreciate it. Blew my mind with it. I'll let you get back to your day. I'll send you all these links and everything when I had it up, and I appreciate it, like, very, very much.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good day, man.
Hey, have a good one, man. And smoke a little tonight, too.
I'll start now.
Yes, that's what I like to hear. All right, man. Take it easy. Thanks.